Man, we just went deep, homeboy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I am Stephen M. Back to
Expand the horizon once again.
And I'm the ringmaster of this little sideshow, in case you didn't know. And today we got a video, man. It's gonna go crazy. It's pretty alien-driven, and I don't mean alien-driven like UFOs flying around the sky and we're like, "Hey, man, what is that?" It's Photoshop. That's what the hell it is. That's not what it's about. These videos are really gonna boogie woogie on your brain, man.
Got to check it out. It'll boogie woogie on your brain.
And right before we get into that, just real quick, can we stop as a collective unit? And all just hit the sub button. I know it's a real pain, especially if you're on a TV. You gotta scroll up and do this and do that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. And go into the channel, and hell, find a remote to begin with. But come on, man. Let's do this as a family unit. I gotta get to 1,000 subs. To hit the sub button, please, right now. Okay? I'm telling you, bro, I would do it for you. I know I look like a but I'm telling you, I got your back like a posturpedic. If you need sub to anything, drop it in the comment section. I got you. All right, let's quit horseplaying and get right up into this.
The structure that was found in 1994 called the Göbekli Tepe, and it totally has thrown off archaeology. They've been teaching that the Sumerians are the ones that had the first written language, but they found the Göbekli Tepe, which is 100.
Who's been teaching? Who's this they? They've been teaching that the Sumerians. I just need to know who this they is. Because nobody's teaching it. People are saying it, but it's not like taught in schools or anything. So I need to know who this they is. I'm sure there's a lot of they teachers actually, but I don't think they are teaching anything about the Sumerians. So I don't know about that. Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
100,000 square foot temple that dates back to 11,600 years ago. Existed 6,000 years before the Sumerians, 7,000 years before Stonehenge and the pyramids. So this thing had been standing for over 1,000 years, and it has these giant 16-foot pillars in the middle of them, 10 tons each. And they have these carvings and stuff, very intricate layouts of the star constellations. It depicts the alignment of the stars and the sun. It was a prediction of when the flood was going to happen. So the flood that the whole world talks about, every culture has a flood story, that happened 5,000 years ago. This pillar is 11,000. Yeah, but here's where it gets crazy.
Dude, to be continued? He just said this is where it gets crazy. That was crazy. I knew about Göbekli Tepe, but I didn't know about the pillar with the predicting the flood. Has that been on Ancient Aliens? I have to look into that. That is wild. How did they even date something like that, really? I don't mean the girl.
I was kidding!
I mean the Göbekli Tepe. How it was that much older than the Sumerians. Also importantly, how do they now hold Stonehenge is? Even kinda. I mean, who am I to even question something? But they're just rocks. I mean, I'm sure they have a scientific way to prove it. I guess I wouldn't doubt them. It's not the type of science that I would doubt.
We own the science.
You know what I mean? So, whew, to be older than the Sumerians, I mean, I was joking about the they thing, but I knew who the they is, I suppose. You know, they people that talk about these kinds of things. Yeah, it's widely talked about that the Sumerians are the first, I guess, smart humans with a written language and all that. So you would probably think the Sumerians somehow are linked up to these people, which later on here in this little episode there's some stuff about the Sumerians. I guess that was a good way to kick it off. I'll have to dig into Göbekli Tepe a little bit more. Boy, I am expanding my horizon today.
War has now entered space. For the first time in the history of mankind, an act of military combat has taken place outside the Earth's atmosphere. Although it received relatively little press attention, Israel's Arrow 3 air defense system intercepts a ballistic missile fired by the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. The Arrow defense system is the top layer of Israel's air defense.
Did he say the Houthi rebels? Hold up. The Houthi rebels? Is that That's Sexy Red's crew, the Hoochie Rebels. Be on the lookout for the Hoochie Rebels, son, coming to a town near you. Pregnant and twerking, boy.
and is capable of intercepting long-range targets. The David Sling system being used at medium range and the famous Iron Dome being used at short range. This pioneering interception was against a missile fired around 1,000 miles away from Israel, with the crucial interception taking place above the Kármán line, the widely accepted boundary between the Earth's atmosphere and space, around 62 miles above sea level. Israeli defense official claimed this is proof that Israel is capable of defending itself against long-range attacks from Iran and its proxies. So are we in a new era? Space warfare was once the stuff of science fiction or an unrealized part of the Cold War, like Reagan's Star Wars missile defense program. So is this a one-off, or will combat in space become a regular part of future wars? What do you think?
Bro, what I think is that was crazy. But to say war went on in space is a little far-fetched, I would say also. But I see what he's going with. That part in there, he's not from America for sure. Microaggression! I don't know what his opinion on is on Israel or this and that. But you can't even talk about this stuff. You know, I try to stay away from it. I didn't even know this is where that video was going, to be honest. But he said in there, proving that they could defend themselves.
I'm reloaded!
I don't know whose side he's on. I don't know what he's up to, but boy, that'd probably get you into some fisticuffs around here. You know what I mean? Definitely on these YouTube streets. Whew. I'm not co-signing that at all. I have no idea if there's any truth to that, and I really don't. I probably have some opinions that I will not state, but he's not American. Yes, some accent. He sounds Ukrainian. Maybe that's what it is. He sounds Ukrainian. Maybe he's like, they don't need the damn money. Give it to my boy Zelensky. Come on. We need some housing over here, son. Maybe that was his point there. I'm getting a little off topic, I guess.
Pull yourself together, man.
So war in space is what he said happened. So, and he's basing this off of the idea that some hoochie daddies shot a missile and it barely nicked over what they consider between the realm between Earth and, or I guess our atmosphere and space. Somebody should have told him that space is fake and it can't go over the firmament.
You are fake news.
What a dipshit.
Come on, Bretta.
Unbelievable. Moving on.
Yeah, the only hardcore thing is that there is an extremely classified document dealing with religion, and it's about that thick. Period. But why would there be any classified
Period.
material dealing with religion?
I want to go back to the religion thing. I want you to say it.
It's so far out.
All right, your objection has been noted.
Okay.
What does it say?
That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers.
Containers of?
Containers. Maybe containers of souls. You can come up with whatever theory you want, but we're containers. And that's how we're mentioned in the documents. That religion was specifically created so we have some rules and regulations for the sole purpose of not damaging the containers.
I hate to say it, but I believe him.
I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do.
I don't know if it's aliens, as in aliens from outer space, now that, you know, once you go so far deep into this stuff. And I always was into the alien thing before flat earths and this and that got into play. But I always wonder more, is it something from a different dimension as opposed to something from outer space? Either way, it's, you know, extraterrestrial, I suppose. And, you know, they're just harvesting us. You know, harvest us. We're containers. Or is Bob Lazar just a total psyop? Because you kind of got to think at this point, everything we were supposed to see, or everything they wanted us to see, rather, they put in our face. The fact they let somebody get out and just run their mouths like that, I feel like that boy would have done gone missing. Ain't no way. They would have blew old Bobby Lazar's wig right off. They wouldn't have gave no shits about him. You know what I mean? Got out and ran his mouth one time. Oh, wow, I guess he, Hillary Clinton paid him a visit. Like, they're not letting that happen, I don't think. What's going on in my hat right now? But the crazy part is, so if he is a psyop, that they want to breed that into people that we are worthless, and you better keep that in mind, that you're nothing but a container for a higher species. So you're, you know, so you just, you act as nothing but cattle, because you're nothing but a container.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
The Gaia theory, you know, the Gaia theory, like hypothetically, if you think about it, like all the organisms or whatever, you know, the white blood cells, whatever it may be. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, bro, in case you didn't know that about me. I'm not. Like whatever it is that lives on, say, on your lung or in your body, those things, assuming they can think to some capacity, if they move or whatever, they probably do. Oh, did you ever see the movie Osmose Jones with Chris Rock? Check that out if you did. It's a pretty funny movie too. It's animated, but it is that. It's like a bunch of things, you know, like they don't know. Actually, I don't remember the movie, but the movie is kind of something like that. But you wouldn't know you're inside a body. Like these are like, you know, a living, working, probably a little society on your lungs. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Let me reel this in.
I got mail! I got mail! I got mail!
So like there's probably a bunch of cells on your lung that are a little society, living, breathing, this and that, and they don't realize that they're just little organisms on a lung. That's their society. So there's probably one that starts talking like, man, I think we're trapped in something, and there's more to this. You know, and then you sneeze or something and one makes its way out. And like, what? Or you breathe in a germ and it comes in and like, there's a big world out there, you gotta go see it.
He's coming, man. I saw him.
Like, what? No, there's a big world. Or you know what I mean? Like, that's the craziest thing I ever said in my life. But find the reason in that, find the logic in that, you know what I'm saying?
What the fuck does that even mean?
Had nothing to do with Bob Lazar just said, but hey, I think we just expanded our horizon, folks. Boom.
Get it done.
Why Israel attacked USS Liberty during Six-Day War? Well, it's easy to understand. It was a false flag operation to drag America into the war against Arabs. Israel wanted to send the Liberty to the ocean bottom so they can blame it on Egypt and America would join the Israeli side in the war. Here's an interesting thing to know. When the attack began, USS Liberty immediately tried to communicate with the 6th Fleet, but Israelis were jamming their distress frequencies. Jamming the tactical frequency is okay, but jamming the distress frequency is a violation of international law. The question you should ask is who.
If anybody in the military knows why it's okay to jam somebody's frequencies, which sounds kind of weird, please let me know, because that seems like it's an awkward thing to be. Why is that allowed? Why is it? I don't know. I don't really understand what he's saying is what I'm saying.
I don't know shit about fuck.
Is who would know the frequencies other than an ally. And who was the ally in this war? It wasn't Egypt for sure. They wanted to sink the Liberty along with her whole crew, but fortunately, Liberty somehow managed to send a signal, saying Firefox Firefox, this is Rockstar, under attack by unidentified surface and naval air units, require immediate assistance. The 6th Fleet picked up the signal, so as the Israelis. And attack was over shortly after that. Israel sent an apology, saying it mistakenly hit an American ship, to cover up the incident.
Dude, that is so crazy that was even a thing. I've heard the story about it being a false flag and what happened to the Liberty, but they sent an apology, and who accepted the apology?
Let's get to that. Let's get to that.
I mean, they did it intentionally. Everybody knows that now, but I guess that was probably something that people just now are starting to learn. I mean, I wouldn't blame anybody for not joining the military again, because this is the type of shit that's going on. Like, that's just so wild. And these are our greatest allies. Based on what? Us? Like us, normal people? Not so much. Not so much. And I mean the governments, not those people specifically. You know what I'm saying?
Friends like these, huh, Gary?
That's right, dude.
It's a sick world we live in these days. Who said it? David Icke. The world is run by sick people. Something to that. I'm sure I'll clip it right in. Yeah.
We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on is absolutely enormous.
Very shortly before the Iraqi war, archaeologist George Fossbeiner discovered a tomb back in 2003 that they believed to be the ancient giants that roamed the earth. Now, this excavation was found in an area that used to be covered up in the Euphrates River, and they found the body of what was believed to be King Gilgamesh.
You see that right there? A flip phone. Okay, keep watching the video, but I just want you to keep that in mind.
In Enkidu, along with the tomb. If you don't already know, Gilgamesh was buried at the bottom of the Euphrates River. Gilgamesh was the 5th post-Diluvian ruler who built the great temples and cities, and also restoring Uruk, today known as Iraq, after the Great Flood. In the Bible, he was known as Nimrod. Gilgamesh was 2/3 god and 1/3 human. His mother was a goddess and his father was a human king of Uruk. Many of the structures that were excavated around the tomb was described in the Epic of Gilgamesh. His body was found with Enkidu. Shortly after the discovery, the United States government took over the site with the war. Testing of the body's DNA was sent to laboratories, and it was never heard of again.
Yeah, so I came across that a post about that, I think on Instagram earlier, and I was blown away. I didn't know about that, and people were arguing in the comment section that was proven fake, because there's always going to be somebody that says it's been proven fake. You know what I mean? The naysayers. And who knows? Are they bots? You know what I mean? Whatever that is. You know, there's always got to be somebody saying something like that.
We do not care.
But there's a lot of people in there. No, it was proven to be real. This, that, and a lot of people are saying that was proven to be from a movie. That's why I said about that flip phone. It looked like someone was holding that wouldn't have been from a movie. Someone just holding a flip phone over that. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I just said it like I'm talking to somebody face to face. But, you know, they say a lot of the reason for the Iraq war and going into Iraq is because there was a portal. Was it a space portal? I'm screwing that up, and I know I am. But, you know, the Nephilim, things like, there was things over there, you know, what used to be ancient Mesopotamia, and that's Mesopotamia. Jesus, I'm a Mesopotamia.
I never learned to read.
They were, you know, the government was trying to lock that down. That's really what that Iraq war was about, they say. I didn't know about that finding of, well, Gilgamesh, they say, if there was, but it is interesting. And I found it interesting that the comments were going back and forth. Like, some people really thought that they found definitive proof, or saw, I suppose, that really did happen. And if it did, well, it's fucking crazy. That's what. I don't know. You can tell me what you think, folks.
Booyakasha.
Okay, so I'm sure you thought that was pretty crazy. Most of you probably haven't seen this before. I just came across this video. I only threw it in there. Maybe a couple people haven't seen that and are not aware of Building 7. This is certainly not a subject I'm going to get into too much on YouTube. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I clip in a lot of Alex Jones, so you can probably imagine what I think already. Building 7's a pretty crazy thing because there's really no reason for it to fall. Well, the whole thing, there's kind of a reason, but if you don't know about Building 7, look into Building 7. That could be photoshopped. Let's be honest. It could be. So there is that. But this is a good time right now. If you never heard of the Dancing Israelis, you should go look into that. It's just a bunch of Israelis having fun at like a bar mitzvah. So look into it.
So the U.S. government's like, something's going on with Antarctica. There's some activity up there. We want to find out what's going on. So they send this cat named Admiral Byrd up to investigate with a giant fleet, just a fleet to go bang, bro. So they send Admiral Byrd up to go find out. And according to his journal that they found much later, he basically met with UFOs, Nazi UFOs.
Nazi UFOs.
The Nazis
had a flying saucer.
Had made a deal, basically, working with
What?
You've never heard this.
So the Nazis made a deal with the aliens?
Yes.
Holy shit.
For technology, and the deal was they were going to work together, okay? So basically the aliens go down, and Klaus Schwab's dad go down and meet with Eisenhower. It's going to be like, we could either do it one way or the other way. We can do it nice or we can do it the wrong way. And that's where they say Eisenhower made a deal with these aliens, that they could kidnap people and do experiments, but they couldn't just do it anywhere. They had specific places, which were our national forests.
What?
Yeah, dude. You've never heard of this.
Man, we just went deep, homeboy.
Foil hat. We go deep, homeboy.
Joe Rogan is so full of it. You know he's heard about that. You know he knows all about all this shit, but he's got to play this card, you know, or this hand, I suppose. The hand he's been dealt, or the cards he's been dealt, I guess. You know, because you know he's been sat down and had to talk to, like, you know, which is why Eddie Bravo doesn't get on there talking like he used to.
There's a bunch of different factions that you call the government.
History, science, education, energy, everything has always been controlled by the government.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. Little pink houses for you and me.
My interpretation of what happened with Admiral Byrd, and I'm going to take Sam Tripoli's word for it because he's been, you know, well, going deep, homeboy. If you've never watched Tinfoil Hat with Sam Tripoli, do yourself a favor and go watch all those episodes. There's one with this guy named Bishop Larry Gators, which, what a cool name, Bishop Larry Gators. He talks about what happened in 2020, how it was orchestrated to burn down all the cities so they can gentrify. Dude, it'll blow your mind. Listen to that, dude. You never look at anything the same again. Either way, as far as this goes, my interpretation of Admiral Byrd was that he was just flying down there, and he just come across, a hollow earth, and he found a different civilization, race of people, and came back and told everybody about it. And I'm pretty sure they printed it in some newspapers, if I'm not mistaken, and then they were like, yeah, no, take that back and shut your fucking mouth, boy.
You can't handle the truth.
And that's just the first part of this, and there's a second part to it, and I'm going to play it right now.
And so, this is where the missing 411 come from, which is all these people have mysteriously disappeared in force. And it's all really weird because they all have like a lot of similar characteristics. German background, highly intelligent, and it like, I don't know how weird you want to get, bro.
I want to get weird.
Okay, bro. They think like this might be some time traveling Nazi shit, bro. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but it's true, dude. So the area of Antarctica they went to was New Schwabenland.
Do you think that's why he dresses with the space
100%.
So they're all in contact with the aliens.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a missing part to that. He keeps not a missing part to that, but if you watch the Joe Rogan episode, he keeps going on talking about Klaus Schwab, how he orchestrates this and all that. I don't know. This Klaus Schwab dude, he came out of nowhere. I never heard that name in my entire life, and I've been looking at this shit for a long time, you know, like goofy shit and paying attention to stuff. Never heard that name until just a couple of years ago. All of a sudden, this nemesis who dresses like a villain from a fucking James Bond movie, or rather even The Spy Who Shags Me or something. Austin Powers.
Let me tell you a little story about a man named
So why couldn't I think of that? Come on, bro. An Austin Powers movie. It just pops up, and all of a sudden, we're just going to eat the bugs, and I run the world. Like, who the fuck is this guy? No, I'm not going to do that.
How about new?
I swear it happens all the time. They just pick some random, maybe they're not random, they've been behind the scenes for a while, but they just plop somebody in the world stage in front of everybody's face. Hey, this is who runs this, keep this in mind. It's the first thing I said when Dr. Fauci popped up. All of a sudden, hey, everybody, your world's over, by the way, your life is over, be afraid you're gonna be unalived because of a thing, and here's who you gotta listen to. Bloop! So a 5'4" Italian guy, listen, wear the mask. Like, who the fuck is that guy? I don't know this guy. I don't remember putting a vote in on this guy. I don't, like, you know what I mean? They do it all the time. Klaus Schwab, he's gonna eat the bugs, he's gonna own nothing, and he's gonna be happy. Like,
you can't even buy shit in the store because of your low social credit score. Oh, nothing. Be happy. You will own nothing and be happy. Be happy and eat the bugs.
Fucking no, I ain't feeling that, bro. Look where this guy come from. But that is wild. Antarctica is one of the most craziest places on the planet to me. It's like, there's so many questions. It looks like there's pyramids down there. You don't know what to think. No one can go there. Is it an ice wall? What's going on there? I don't know. I'd recommend anyone go watch that full Joe Rogan with Sam Tripoli.
And when you look into it.
All right. If you think that was crazy, wait till you get a load of this next guy.
Is Valiant Thor from Venus, as described by Dr. Frank Strange's real alien that made human content or physical
We are
contact?
not going to talk too much about that, but let us just say again, the idea of Venus in your solar system, in your dimensional plane, is not a place that is inhabited, but in other dimensions it is.
Okay.
Therefore, when someone says from Venus, they don't actually mean from the sauna planet in your solar system. They mean from another dimension. And the way in which they present themselves is a matter of what you need to see to understand in your terms something of what they are. But that being is far different and far more than you think. It's only projecting what you need to see to understand it, to the degree you need to understand it. Yes?
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I told you that was crazy. That either he watched the movie K-Pax too many times. If you've never seen that, it's a movie with Kevin Spacey. You can't say his name anymore because, you know, he acted like all other Hollywood people probably act, but, you know, not cool. Either way, the movie K-Pax, he claims he's an alien from another planet, and no one believes him. They throw him in a psych ward, this and that. Well, it turns out he really was from another planet called K-Pax. So either that guy is telling the truth, or he's just acting like the character in that movie. Did you notice he was sitting, like, you know, with the thing, like Jeremy Corbell, when I said about, you know, that he's a psyop, part of the Freemasons, anyone sitting like this? So it would feel like this guy was just going for a gimmick. Get it done. I'd love to know where that actually was. Where did they put him on a stage at? Was that an open mic? Actually, did we just get punked and that was just a guy at an open mic and it was just like an act? Maybe that was from like an off-Broadway show or some shit. I assume the guy was trying to be serious. Maybe he was. I don't know, man. He was sure was smug about it though. From Venus. Like jeez Louise. I don't know, man. You let me know if you think that guy's telling the truth in the comment section. All right, would you please? Cool. Okay. Anyways, that is the end of the video. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Thank you for watching. If you never did hit that sub button, do us all a favor and just go ahead and hit that sub button before we get up out of here. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit like on that video. If you didn't like the video, just keep it moving, bro, because I'm telling you, I don't want no beef with you. That's all, folks.